Ever wondered why we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with shamrocks and parades? It's a question that stirs up images of green-clad revelers, pots of gold at the end of rainbows, and of course those cheeky leprechauns. But St. Patrick's Day is more than just a day for donning green and pinching those who forgot to wear it. It's a celebration steeped in history and tradition, a day set aside to honour Ireland's patron saint, St. Patrick. Now you might be thinking, but what about the shamrocks and the leprechauns? Well, these symbols have become intertwined with the holiday, but they are largely the product of commercialized celebrations and a far cry from the humble origins of this day. The shamrock, for instance, is said to have been used by St. Patrick as a teaching tool to explain the Holy Trinity. But the truth is there's no historical evidence to back this claim. And as for the leprechauns, well, they've been part of Irish folklore for centuries, yet their association with St. Patrick's Day is a relatively modern invention, more influenced by marketing tactics than historical fact. When it comes down to it, these symbols offer a fun and festive way to celebrate, but they don't tell the whole story of St. Patrick and his significance. So who was St. Patrick really? He was not Irish, but British, and he wasn't even named Patrick at birth. His real name was Maewyn Succat, and he was later known as Patricius after becoming a priest. And contrary to what many believe, he didn't drive the snakes out of Ireland. This is a metaphorical tale about his efforts to convert the Irish to Christianity. St. Patrick's Day is a time to honour this man and his legacy, but it's also an opportunity to delve deeper into the rich history and culture of Ireland. It's a day to celebrate Irish heritage, to remember the struggles and triumphs of the Irish people, and to appreciate the influence they've had around the world. So as we don our green attire and raise our glasses high, let's remember the true meaning of this day. Let's delve into the life of the man behind the holiday, St. Patrick. Born in the late 4th century, St. Patrick's journey began not in Ireland, but in Roman Britain. In the waning years of the Roman Empire, a boy named Patrick was born to a family steeped in Roman civil and religious traditions. His father was a deacon and his grandfather a priest, so it's fair to say that religion was deeply embedded in his family roots. However, Patrick wasn't born a saint, and his early life was far from saintly. Instead, he was a typical Roman Briton, enjoying the benefits of his family's social standing and wealth. Patrick's childhood was spent in the rural landscapes of Roman Britain, far removed from the tumultuous politics of Rome. Despite being brought up in a religious household, Patrick was not particularly devout in his early years. His life was rather ordinary, filled with the mundane activities of a young boy growing up in an affluent family. But this serene existence was abruptly shattered when Irish pirates attacked his family's estate. At just 16 years old, Patrick was captured and whisked away across the sea to a land wholly unfamiliar to him, Ireland. This was a land of pagan beliefs and Celtic traditions, far removed from the Roman civilization he had known. Gone were the comforts of home, replaced by the harsh realities of enslavement. But it was this very adversity that would shape the course of Patrick's life, as he found solace and strength in his faith. His religious upbringing, once taken for granted, now became his refuge in the midst of his tumultuous circumstances. In his solitude, Patrick turned to prayer, finding comfort and guidance in his faith. His spiritual connection deepened, and his understanding of God's will intensified. But even as he found solace in his faith, Patrick yearned for freedom, a longing that would soon be fulfilled in a way he could never have imagined. Little did he know his life was about to take a significant turn. Enslaved for 6 long years, St. Patrick found solace in faith. So begins a crucial chapter in the life of the man who would become Ireland's patron saint. As a teenager, Patrick was captured by Irish pirates and sold into slavery, a harsh reality that changed the course of his life forever. Yet it was in these challenging circumstances that he found a beacon of hope. In the rugged, windswept landscapes of Ireland, Patrick laboured as a shepherd, isolated from human companionship. During this solitude, he turned inward, seeking comfort and guidance in his spiritual beliefs. His faith, which had been a peripheral part of his life in Britain, took on a profound significance. Patrick's spiritual awakening was a gradual process, marked by moments of deep introspection and prayer. He found strength in Christianity, his belief growing stronger with each passing day. His faith became his refuge, a sanctuary that provided solace amid the harshness of his life. The young Patrick, who once considered his faith to be secondary, began to experience visions and hear divine messages. These moments of divine connection invigorated him, instilling in him a sense of purpose and a renewed will to survive. After 6 years of enslavement, a vision guided him to escape. He journeyed across Ireland, surviving on faith alone, until he reached the coast. There, he found a ship ready to sail, and with a heart full of hope, he returned to his homeland, Britain. Yet his time in Ireland had left an indelible mark on him. His experiences, both challenging and transformative, had shaped him into a man of deep faith. He had found strength in his spiritual beliefs, and it was this strength that would guide him in the years to come. But his connection with Ireland was far from over. His journey was just beginning, and destiny had a different plan for him. The land of his enslavement would soon become the land of his enlightenment, forever binding the story of St. Patrick with the history of Ireland. But for now, he was simply Patrick, a man whose faith had been forged in the crucible of hardship. Heeding a divine call, St. Patrick returned to the very land of his captivity. He journeyed back to Ireland, not as a slave, but as a missionary, armed with a newfound spiritual fervour and a mission to spread Christianity across the land. St. Patrick's missionary work in Ireland was nothing short of remarkable. He was a man of action, a tireless traveller who crisscrossed the country, bringing the Christian faith to the farthest corners of the Emerald Isle. His efforts were focused not just on converting the Irish, but also on establishing lasting institutions that would secure the future of Christianity in Ireland. A significant part of St. Patrick's work involved the establishment of churches and schools across Ireland. These weren't just places of worship or education. They were cornerstones of communities, connecting people in a shared faith and purpose. St. Patrick understood the power of community and used these institutions to bring people together, laying the foundations for a Christian society. And then there was the shamrock. This humble little plant became a powerful teaching tool in St. Patrick's hands. He used the shamrock to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Each leaf represented one aspect of the Trinity, while the whole shamrock symbolized their unity. This simple yet profound analogy helped the Irish grasp a complex theological concept, further solidifying their faith. St. Patrick's missionary years were not without challenges. He faced opposition, skepticism, and even threats to his life. But he persevered, driven by his unwavering faith and his deep love for the Irish people. His dedication and tireless efforts began to bear fruit. Slowly but surely, the landscape of Ireland started to change. The old pagan practices began to fade, replaced by the teachings of Christianity. St. Patrick's influence was starting to reshape Ireland. His missionary years marked the beginning of a new era, an era where Christianity would flourish and become an integral part of Irish identity. And all this thanks to the tireless work of a former slave who answered a divine call. St. Patrick passed away on the 17th of March, but his legacy lives on. His departure from this earthly realm didn't mark the end, but rather the beginning of a legacy that would endure for centuries. When he breathed his last, the teachings he had passionately disseminated across Ireland didn't fade away. Quite the opposite, they flourished, spreading like wildflowers across the Emerald Isle and beyond. His life's work, his dedication to the Irish people, his spiritual teachings, all coalesced to form a legacy that transcended his mortal existence. In the wake of his passing, his followers began to honor him, recounting tales of his deeds, his miracles, and his teachings. Over time, these stories were woven into the fabric of Irish culture and tradition. St. Patrick was revered with such esteem that he was eventually recognized as the patron saint of Ireland. His life of service and devotion to the Irish people had indeed left an indelible mark. Now, let's talk about the origins of St. Patrick's Day. It was initially a religious day of observance, recognized by the Catholic Church to honor St. Patrick and his contributions to Ireland's spiritual landscape. But over time, it evolved into a vibrant celebration of all things Irish. Today, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated not just in Ireland, but around the world. It's a day of parades, of wearing green, of proudly displaying shamrocks, a symbol St. Patrick himself used to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity. It's a day where everyone, regardless of their heritage, can claim a bit of Irish luck and join in the festivity. From a humble missionary to a revered saint, St. Patrick's journey is a testament to the power of faith and perseverance. His teachings continue to touch lives, his story continues to inspire, and his legacy endures in the vibrant celebration of St. Patrick's Day. So now, when you see those shamrocks and parades, you'll know the real story behind St. Patrick's Day.